Let's go. Well, you know that stuck them hard, man.
So hear me say this. To get to any of us, you will have to get through all of us. When we enter City Hall in 58 days, expectations will be high. We will meet them. A great New Yorker once said that while you campaign in poetry, you govern in prose. If that must be true, let the prose we write still rhyme and let us build a shining city for all. And we must chart a new path, as bold as the one we have already traveled. After all, the conventional wisdom would tell you that I am far from the perfect...
Somebody in the chat goes, tell me one successful socialist country. Dude, there's tons. What are you talking about?
Candidate. I am young, despite my best efforts to grow older. I am Muslim. I am a democratic socialist. And most damning of all, I refuse to apologize for any of this. And yet, if tonight teaches us anything, it is that convention has held us back. We have bowed at the altar of caution and we have paid a mighty price. Too many working people cannot recognize themselves in our party.
Yeah, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Finland. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
And too many among us have turned to the right for answers to why they've been left behind. We will leave mediocrity in our past. No longer will we have to open a history book for proof that Democrats can dare to be great.
Guys, you know what I'm noticing at the chat, right? They're democratic socialists, not socialists. Johnny, I hate to tell you, you're just not competent. I hate to say that. This guy wrote, Adam is shocked the Dem wanted blue state. Cosmo. I love that you guys aren't paying attention. Keep it up. This was a blue wave. This was a blue wave.
Our greatness will be anything but abstract. It will be felt by every rent-stabilized tenant who wakes up on the first of every month, knowing the amount they're going to pay hasn't soared since the month before. It will be felt by each grandparent who can afford to stay in the home they have worked for, and whose grandchildren live nearby because the cost of childcare didn't send them to Long Island. It will be felt by the single mother who is safe on her commute and whose bus runs fast enough that she doesn't have to rush school drop-off to make it to work on time. And it will be felt when New Yorkers open their newspapers in the morning and read headlines of success, not scandal. Most of all...
It's crazy because people who literally make $15 an hour are scared of socialism. Billionaires have indoctrinated them to believe that social dems are their enemy and that they're their friend. Because if one day they happen to obtain billions of dollars, they'll get to keep it too. Like, really? You're on the wrong team. You're literally on the wrong team. The billionaire class does not care about you.
It will be felt by each New Yorker when the city they love finally loves them back.
Dear God.
Together, New York, we're going to freeze the... York, we're going to make buses.
Carol says he isn't a socialist, he's a communist. Wrong, Carol. Wrong. But good try. Do you know the difference? He's quite literally a social dem. Healthcare!
We've spoken together. The dreams we've dreamt together become the agenda we deliver together. New York, this power, it's yours. This city belongs to you.
Only MAGA would literally argue against social safety nets, use social safety nets, and then say, go Trump down with Mamdani.
Thank you.
Only MAGA. Man, what a speech. What a speech. Holy crap. Not bought and paid for, which is a big deal. He's not bought and paid for. And listen, I'm not just focusing on that. Obviously, I've talked about some other elections, really important, obviously. But this, in my opinion, could have a really positive impact on the party. It's game changing. And he's going to have an opportunity to really show people that it works, which will make more people comfortable in not only supporting it, but identifying. I think people are scared. Like there are Democrats, I think, that believe these things will work and are scared to commit to them because they think they'll be labeled a socialist and it will kill their political career. You know, like socialism is here, right? We have social safety nets. Social Dems simply advocate for a guardrail system so billionaires cannot profit off your basic needs. That's what this is. Why didn't Dems elect Bernie? Well, that's what do you mean? Why didn't they elect Bernie? They should have. What's your point? That's the point I'm making. Is that we need to break out of these traditional moderate norms, right? Republicans broke out of them and stepped into a fascist shithole, but regardless, they broke out of their norms. Democrats need to stop playing politics from 2010, right? It's time to move forward as a party, something different. This is what people want. They want you to work for them. That's what they want. They want you to work for the working class. And people are tired of the billionaire agenda. They're tired of it. And last night was a message. By the way, I don't know why people are spamming. This guy's friendly. He's not a friendly. I don't know why people say that when this dude types. He's a fucking Republican. Says dumb shit in the chat all the time. I just explained it. If he's not comprehending, I don't know what else to do. Guy, if you're coming back up here, you're going to provide your source.
What source?
So yesterday, right, you made a claim about undocumented immigrants and SNAP. And I tried to explain to you that people who are here who are lawfully present, asylum seekers. By the way, do you know the requirement, like how asylum works in the United States?
Yeah, as soon as you cross the border, you have to go to your immigration office and apply for asylum.
But you don't have to go through a port of entry. You understand the requirement is being present in the country. And you understand that you don't
initially that's the first step, yes.
But you understand that in the United States you can still apply for asylum. You don't need to apply in the first country that you flee to, correct?
I think you have to in the United States, as soon as you come in, you need to report to immigration.
Yeah, but you're not under the you do understand they're lawfully present, correct? And of course, they can make a decision that the previous country, as long as their asylum process is protected, that they're moved to that country. But the United States accepts applications for these asylees, correct?
I think you're correct on that. I think
am,
if somebody,
it's not a question of if, I am. Okay.
okay, so
The point I'm making is that they're
so
lawfully
what's your
present.
source?
Can you show me? It's the law. If you don't know,
Let me see the law.
okay, I don't know. Look up asylum laws. That's the law. Look
What
up the laws.
statute?
Look up
8 U.S.C. 1325. That's not it.
You gonna let me finish?
Dipshit. Go ahead.
Okay. So I know you're not a very smart guy, right? And so I'm gonna try and explain it the best I can. They
Couldn't even
are.
give me a statute, bro.
Are you gonna let me finish?
Go ahead.
I know you're scared, but it's okay. I'm gonna embarrass you again. So you
congratulate you
I don't care. I don't want a congratulations from you.
because you had a pro LGBT mayor now. Because you're an LGBT activist, right?
So the point is that they're lawfully present. You made claims, right, that undocumented immigrants over 50% or something, you said, billions of dollars. You made a bunch of claims. And then you said you have a source, right? And you were going to go get it. And then you left. I'm waiting for that source. Do you have it?
Whitehouse.gov is the source.
Okay, just show me. Where am I going? What am I looking for?
I don't know. Look it up yourself. I gave you the website. You should be able to find it. There's a search feature.
No, there's nothing on whitehouse.gov.
Search feature in it.
There is nothing on whitehouse.gov that says 50% of people on Snap are fraudulent, which is the claim you made.
Let's clarify what I said yesterday. Okay. I made a claim that a large percentage, 50% or more, of Snap recipients are fraudulent.
Okay, so I'll wait for that source.
That's number one.
Listen. Let me.
I made another claim. Let me get my claim.
Open your mouth. Let me put a sock in it. There you go. So you're not a star. I'm not bringing you up here to get attention. I know you thrive off the attention I'm giving you. I'm simply asking you, can you provide me the proof after, 24 hours, right, that this is the case? There is nothing on whitehouse.gov that says that. Can you show me a study that shows that 50% of SNAP recipients are fraudulent?
Yes, but let me finish my claim.
No.
You mentioned, I gave you.
Give me, we did this yesterday, and you try and go to different, give me the source. Give me the source. I want to read it. These guys make shit up. Like, no, we're not. So show me. I'll wait. Source or get out. I'm going to bring the source. Well, here we are. We're waiting. Yeah, I figured. He ran. There is no source. There is no study. There is no nothing that says, I bet you couldn't find a study that shows over 1%. Liar. Even I don't even think Mike Johnson says that. Oh God. This guy. What?
Hey, bud. How you doing? I don't know why you get so angry these days in the morning. You know, bring it down a notch.
Okay.
Trying to rile you up.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Obviously, you needed a friend to reach out, so no biggie. How was your weekend?
Can you just go ahead? What would you like to talk about? I had a great night last night.
I bet you did. Did you think Tom Donnie is good for New York City?
Yeah, I think he's going to be great for New York City.
So,
you're muted. That was your question and you left? Okay. His boss probably came around the corner. Are you on the phone? Get off the vote right now. That's probably what happened. He's angry Mom Donnie won. I'd love to talk about it. Why would you be angry Mom Donnie won? Somebody said he ran out of minutes. Best I've felt since last November, honestly. Totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. Man, I have not been happy politically since that last election. Since that night when we were sitting watching it unfold. And then my hope started dwindling pretty quickly. Like, we are back. We are so back, baby. We are so back. And let's see what happens going forward, right? The midterm. I'm excited for the midterms. Yep, definitely. And this is something to build off of. But again, this is what happens when you vote, people. That's what happens. You gotta vote. Yep, Prop 50. Yep, Prop 50. I told you guys, you got to be on the Tube. You got to be on the Tube app. You know, because we were streaming last night. We had a great stream last night. We really did. Except I talked to some really crazy people. But outside of that, do you think Trump... Was this question? You think Trump really ever had the numbers? No. Yeah, the YT setup's good. I've been doing YouTube since January or February or whatever, but I was kind of just BSing with people because I didn't take it as seriously. And then now I set up the stream seriously, so I'm actually debating and stuff. So obviously the streams are different, and there's obviously... some people like that calm thing, but obviously I have to debate. I'm frozen? What? How am I frozen? You guys can't hear me? Hello! All right, fine. I know how to handle this. Don't worry, guys. I know how to fix this. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by a choir and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows the turkey and the mistletoe seems to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes full of glow, they find it hard to sleep tonight. See, I'm unfrozen now. Am I unfrozen? Am I unfrozen now? Told you. I'm like Mariah Carey in this. Start singing. I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need. I don't care about the presents. I just want a Democrat blue wave. You know those memes where like you hear her voice, and like, you know, because it's starting to become more like Christmas time, people are like, no. Dude, Mom Donnie's the best. I'm super motivated. I'm actually in a decent mood. Like, I can't believe it. Like, I'm talking about politics and I'm actually in a decent mood. That's insane. Like, that is crazy to me. I can't believe it. So it's awesome. Also, let's see here. If you guys didn't see this last night, Trump posted on Truth Social the minute Mom Donnie mentioned him, but he literally, the minute he mentioned him, he posted on Truth Social, here we go, or something. But before that, he wrote, the reason that we lost is because Trump is not on the ballot and the shutdown. Because Trump is not on the ballot. Do you know what that means? That's not what a good representative does. That's not what the leader of the party does. It makes the party all about himself and nobody else can win elections. The country gave you a giant middle finger. They are not happy with what's happening. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go over that because I really can't. And honestly, like, it doesn't change anything. He is the president, so it is what it is. He also claimed to have hacked screen at Mom Donnie's campaign. So let's talk about that for a second. So somebody brought that earlier. The video screen during Mom Donnie's celebration party was hacked, apparently, and said Trump is your daddy or something. That's what I'm hearing. I didn't see it, but it said Trump is your daddy. First of all, if that's true and you're bragging about it, I want you to understand something. That's really serious. Like I'm being honest. Like we're talking about, and if that's the case and Trump's taking credit for it, I think they need to give the you know what another look again. That's highly concerning if that's true. Did that really happen? Did that really happen? Because that is a hostile attack. I've heard it from multiple people. But that's something that's serious. That's very problematic if that's true. And honestly, if he bragged about it, I want to know. Yes, it said Trump is still your president. Okay. Trump is still your president? Trump didn't take credit for that, did he? He didn't say that was him, did he? If he did, I'd like to know. What's going on? So Trump supporters, how do you feel? MAGA's kind of quiet this morning. What happened, man? All this confidence. Democrats will never win another election. And boom, they are soaked in blue. They are soaked in blue this morning. Absolutely soaked. I don't know. I kind of enjoy it though, because last night I was debating them nonstop, and it got kind of tiring because they do the same thing over there that they do over here. Hold on, guys. Let me look this up really quick. Thank you for the crown. If you guys do enjoy the content every single day, I would appreciate No, I'm not frozen. Whenever I do this, I get tons of whenever I go live, people like to text me, Bobby, where'd you go? You were just in the guest box. Bobby J. Can you get in the guest box? Bobby J, where'd you go? Let's talk to some Trump supporters. How you feeling this morning? You feeling a little blue? Are you feeling a little blue this morning? You're not feeling a little blue, are you? Did you see Michelle Obama on Colbert talking about the East Wing? No. Why would she say? I'm sure she's not happy about it. I could tell you that. I'm sure she's not happy about it. What'd she say? Should I play it? Dude, that East Wing. Did you guys see the person dressed as the East Wing with them demolishing the... Did you guys see that on Halloween? It's only the full interview I see. I don't see the just the clip. Unless you have the part and you want to come up and show it to me. You certainly can, but I'm not going to play the whole I'm not going to play the whole thing as much as I love Michelle Obama. Yeah, I'm not on OBS though. No, it's so disturbing. And when I've brought it up, people are like, "Well, what? They say, guys, of course I know the history. That's not the point. The point is, I don't want Trump attached to the fucking East Wing of the White House. I don't want Trump attached to anything in the future once he's gone. I don't want him attached historically to DC outside of being president of the United States. It's enough. That's enough." But to be reminded consistently, and he's going to try and call it the Trump ballroom, and he's going to try and make it the Trump ballroom and make that the normal thing, how people refer to it. And yeah, it's just him all over it. I just don't, he's fascist and I don't want him anywhere near it. And then, the pictures, obviously, of them destroying it, I don't know, it just bothered me. I don't know. He's requesting a Trump arc. Yes, it's called the Arc Day Trump. I'm not kidding. He is trying, it's going to be called the Arc Day Trump. Serious. It didn't bother Trump supporters. They don't give a shit. They care as much about the East Wing as they do the Constitution. They don't care about the Constitution. They don't care about democracy. They don't care about anything. It's funny, they talk about socialists trying to dismantle the country as they're actively dismantling the Constitution. It's fucking hilarious. Dustin says, you have no attachment to the East Wing. It's my East Wing, Dustin. What are you talking about? I have no attachment. It's mine. It's we the people. It's our White House. It's not his. No attachment. It's my White House. What are you talking about? And his and hers and his and hers and his and hers. Of course, they don't care about, like, that's why I said before, right? They were trying to fearmonger that, oh, guys, be careful about Mom Donnie. You know, he's a social dem. He doesn't believe in the United States. He doesn't, what we're all about. Trump is actively dismantling democracy. Trump is actively destroying the Constitution. And they're like, watch out for Mom Donnie. Watch out for Mom Donnie, who's like, yeah, guys, we need to raise minimum wage to $30 an hour, because people can't feed themselves. These are starvation wages. We need to freeze rent for more than 1 million tenants. These tenants can't pay their rent, right? Let's build new, affordable, rent stabilized homes, everybody. Oh my God. Don't you dare. Oh my God. Wait, hold on. Universal child care. Oh my God. Oh, shit. Universal child care. Oh my God, dude. That's not what we're about. We're about paying $400 a week. This is bullcrap. We should have to pay $1,000 a week for our children. I can't freaking believe this. You mean it's going to be free? No, you're not taxing billionaires. No. Do not tax billionaires. They worked hard for it. You can't do that, because if I become a billionaire one day, I don't want to be taxed like that. And it's possible. You never know. Look at Elon Musk. He did it. I can do it too. Look at Mark Zuckerberg. You never know. I might invent the next Facebook. And the government's going to steal my money. I'm gonna make you even more mad. Free bus transportation. That's it. Dude, that's it. This is why we support Trump. This is why we support Trump. Because then we get to, pay for shit. And let the billionaires exploit our basic human needs. Everyone, congratulate Jess into the chat here. And Jess won her election. Jess, take the floor. I know you probably want to say a couple things. Congratulations.
Thank you. Unless 0.5G gets me, because you know how that goes. Maybe I can fix that as newly delegate-elect.
Please don't have 0.5G during the course.
I will try not to. So yeah, it's crazy, awesome night in Virginia. I'm super grateful to be one of 13 seats that were held by Republicans that were flipped, which is fucking crazy. 3 of the seats, just to give you some context, 3 of the seats, all in the Peninsula Hampton Roads area. So my neighbors, me in the 71st, my neighbor in the 69th, and then the 86th district, which is like Hampton, Newport News, York County, James City, all that. Those seats were held by Republicans. 2 of those seats were held since 2020. My incumbent opponent was the caucus chair leadership. We also had one out in the Richmond area that was held since 2019, also flipped to blue. Like, it's amazing. You guys know I lost by just 667 votes 2 years ago. As it stands right now, I have beat my opponent by over 2,200 votes. There's still probably close to 500 provisionals out of college students in my district that are likely geared to go 100% to me. So the margin win is probably going to grow, probably hit about 6 points spread. So I'm elated. Like, it couldn't have gone any better. Yeah, I'm just so grateful for the support, like online, across the nation, and in my district. and my opponent went super low. I know Adam's familiar with the attack ads.
Really bad.
Character assassinations with all she had. She couldn't talk about her own policy or legislative successes because she didn't have any, so she went low, and it did not bode well, and I won the hearts of not only my party but independents and even a lot of Republicans. Last night Virginia basically told Trump no thank you. 15-point win for the governor's race, which is insane, after Harris only winning the state by about 6 points. So I mean,
You muted, Jess. I don't know. You might have got a phone call.
yeah, we have the largest Democratic majority in the House that we've seen in over 30 years.
Oh,
So, and if people aren't familiar, when Trump entered the scene in 2017, Virginia's election then also flipped the 3 statewides from Republican to Democrat. The House was held by 66 Republicans at the time. They lost 15 seats then. So when we went into this election year, we held the slim majority of 51 seats. We had 18 battleground candidates that were being fully invested and supported by the state caucus. 17 of those seats won, and 13 of those were flips. There could have been no better outcome.
seriously. Well, I knew losing by less than 700 votes last time. I felt that you could take that momentum into this. That's what I was hoping. Obviously, you never know. But what did you feel when you first realized that you won?
Okay, hold on. I'm going to show you something. Let me see.
How did you feel? Must have felt like you could fly.
Pretty much, yes. That's that. Yeah, pretty much. I'm going to see if I can make a green screen so you can actually see. Yes, I can. Hold on. I have internet, so yay. Got the call from Speaker Scott. If it comes up, why can't it come up?
It's transparent for me.
I know. Hold on. I don't know why it's doing that.
Like I can see right through it. It reminds me of Trump. You can see right through him. Oh, that's when you got the call?
Yeah, so they called me at 10. And to give you some context, the man behind me is my husband, and the girl taking the picture on my left is my eldest daughter, who's 21. So, it was pretty epic. And there was probably 150 people in the room just chanting my name as Don Scott was on the phone. It was pretty awesome.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And you worked really hard for this, Jess. You worked really hard. Didn't give up after a crushing defeat a couple of years ago. What was it? 660 something votes you lost?
667. Yep. One vote away from being hell,
That would have been, they would have used that. They would have used that in a campaign ad.
They definitely would have. Well, trust me, I had someone leave me a crazy voicemail. I don't know if you saw that video where they literally called me a devil worshiper like a million times. Some dude that's in Virginia, not in my district, but in Virginia. I was like, what? So it was super hell +1. Yes, that's what we're gonna call it. I won 2 years ago. I lost 2 years ago by a hell +1. My opponent. Yeah.
They had an ad again. They put an ad out against you a while ago. That was a bad one too. Was that this time or last time? What was it? It was on Fox.
I didn't have any ads last time.
What was? Was it this time?
No. So Fox was. Fox last time basically was like giving her. She went on Laura Ingraham or whatever to bitch about me calling her out for giving donuts to people instead of actual raises and like good policy. So that was the only thing that happened 2 years ago. She got some airtime on Fox to like crap on me, but we didn't do any ads, either of us really last cycle. But this cycle, she put out some ads trying to claim that I was like pro raising taxes on everyone. I'm only pro raising taxes on rich people. Sorry, not sorry. And then she put out the character assassination. So the last couple ads have just simply been about the fact that I've been online and, have been silly in my history on being on social media. A video of me dancing in an eggplant costume and the peeing in the woods kind of thing. So, um, and then she also, which was really interesting, and she actually got called out by some Republicans on this. Obviously we had a little bit of a scandal around our attorney general's race with Jay Jones, the Democratic candidate, with some old text messages, which clearly did not, deter voters from picking him and getting rid of Jason Mayeras. But she made a video in the very last hour claiming that I remained silent on his rhetoric, which she quite literally was on a stage next to me when I was point blank asked about the text messages, and I condemned them. And I'd also condemned them on social media, on Facebook prior to that. And so there were so many people like, this video is a lie, like this ad's a lie. And they were so mad that she was claiming that so anyways, neither of her two negatives really hit the right way. Obviously the voters said, no, thanks.
Yeah, I mean, they saw right. The peeing in the woods thing was got to be the dumbest attack. That's because, they went through your social media and realized, wait, she's basically talking about things she's advocating for right now. I don't know what we could attack. Let's find
some 4-year-old videos from her social media when she was being silly instead of serious. Yeah, basically.
That was just desperate. That's what that was.
It was.
That was just desperate.
I mean, everyone loved my ads. I kept them above board. I never went low. I never did character assassinations. I was actually really overwhelmed with I had a really sweet message from someone in my district who is a staunch Republican. In fact, straight up said, I'm far right of center and our policies couldn't be further from each other. But you came to my door and you just were a genuine human being and you ran an incredible campaign that you should be proud of. And 5 minutes after you left, it was Saturday, it was last day early voting, he went and voted for me. And he sent me this amazing DM that I will probably frame and put on my fucking wall, but in my new office. But it was pretty great. I went and visited my soon to be new in district office. I have my first caucus meeting on Sunday with my new 63 Democratic colleagues. So yeah, I'm so excited.
When did you say the meeting is? It's when?
Sunday. Sunday is our first caucus meeting, and then I'll be sworn in January, beginning of January.
Wow, that's so. What's your first order of business?
So, I mean, there's so much legislation that they've been trying to get to the finish line. I know that our priorities this year is going to be raising the minimum wage, putting forth collective bargaining for private sector or public sectors, because they've got so many guardrails in place in this state that have really hindered people like myself, who's in the school union, the public school union, to be able to collectively bargain and have a seat at the table. Those are going to be priorities. Fully funding and changing the funding formula for public education. I'm going to personally be working with my local government and local college and community college to expand career opportunities and workforce training in our high schools, as well as expanding, we want to put 3 and 4 year olds early childhood education as a part of the funding formula. So parents do not have to worry about childcare at that age. They can go back to the workforce or maybe pursue a career in higher ed for themselves, have opportunity to not be burdened with cost. Would love to look at some changes in our tax code. I know that's going to be harder. Sorry, I need to put my phone on do not.
Oh, yeah, you're getting calls. I can tell. Yeah, I can tell it wasn't 0.5G.
Okay, I put it do not disturb. Yeah, it wasn't 0.5G. But, definitely want to look at the tax code and think about, right now in the state of Virginia, if you make $17,001, you pay the same tax rate at the state level as someone making millions of dollars. And we have 272 millionaires in the state of Virginia. And that's something we could really be looking at to add recurring revenue, to really shore up our school system, shore up our healthcare system with everything happening at the federal level. But I mean, I'll be honest, I'm so happy about the wins across from Virginia to California. But we know that Trump is pissed.
Yes.
And that the retaliatory response, we need to be ready for it. But at the same time, this speaks volumes to the energy The rallies have been great, but like these elections in New Jersey, in Ohio, in Pennsylvania, in Virginia, in California, in New York, like they are a literal mandate that people are pissed. And we just got to keep our freaking foot to the gas and make sure that we have free and fair elections in 2026. And I mean, the Senate is in play for real. Like
Yep.
the Senate is in play.
Yep.
I mean, we already knew the congressional like the House was in play, but the Senate is in play. Yeah. So we need to make sure they can't cheat. And yeah, I'm like so psyched for like the good work we're gonna do.
Did you see Mom Donnie's speech? So last night,
Yes, I did.
I went on the tube and we were watching it, and man, people were mad. But Trump literally I think he posted almost immediately after Mom Donnie said, "Trump, I know you're watching. Turn the volume up." So he's definitely furious. There's no doubt about it. He was pissed last night. Did you see his post? He said, "We lost these elections because Trump is not on the ballot and the shutdown." That's what he said.
Yep. No, Trump was on the ballot. Like, let's be 100.
100%.
Trump was on every ballot across the state. And that is why Dems swept. Period. Period.
Yep.
And I need Republicans, which I cannot wait to be an officially elected individual to be in the room, because we need Republicans in Congress, including Virginian Republicans, to recognize, fun fact, this is your loud bullhorn telling you Trump is not who you should be listening to anymore.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
Yeah. It was a message. People are pissed. You know, it was
People are pissed.
Yeah, they are pissed, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. And it's going to be interesting to see how they respond. But man, I got to tell you, like, this is the first night when I went to sleep last night politically that I felt hope, you know?
Yep. I know. I think that's been resonating across the nation yesterday. I mean, like when I was in the room, like obviously I'm panicking and waiting for mine, but they called Spamberger like right away. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then they called Hashmi and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then they started calling they started calling House seats, and we were like, flip. I was the fifth flip, and then like 13 flips, and J. Joe, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like we're doing this. Like it just felt, I have goosebumps just talking about it. Like it just felt so hopeful. Like we're not doomed. Like we've got an opportunity to turn things around. And I especially found so much hope in Zoran's demographic pool. The young voters were like a huge part of his voting base. And we're talking about young men who just screwed us, no offense, in 2024, but they went, you know what? We effed up, and they flipped. And I'm like, that is crazy. You know, unfortunately, the older demographic leaned heavier on Cuomo, but we knew that was going to be the case in New York because they want to, you know, keep their money and stay selfish and let their most vulnerable citizens suffer. But the young people said, no, thank you. We want a future here. And they spoke very loudly. And I think that sets the tone for the kind of candidates, you know, no offense, but we need to start primarying some of these establishment Dems, getting them out of office and putting some young blood in there. Because I think last night, I mean, I don't know if you know, but we flipped like, I think 6 or 7 of the Virginia seats that were flipped from men to women. We just expanded women's majority in our House. Like, and the diversity. Oh my God.
Yeah. I was just talking about that. You know, how this kind of, and Mamdani specifically, self-identifying as a social dem, opens doors for the party, right? To break away from this moderate mold. And we've talked a number of times about it, right? Democrats need to get back to advocating for working class people, right? And working for them, not telling them things they can't accomplish, telling them things they're going to try and accomplish. You know, I loved when Mamdani harped on that. If you want to keep voting for people like Cuomo, who tell you every reason they can't do things for you, right, then go ahead. But if you want something new, you want a guy who's actually going to work for you every single day, get up and try and make today better than yesterday for you, New Yorkers, then vote for me. That's
Yep.
what people are tired of. And they're tired of the billionaire class, and they're tired of what's happening in this country. I mean, I don't know how you could be happy right now
I know.
looking at what's happening.
Unless you're a millionaire or a billionaire, I mean, your life's basically looking pretty bleak. I'm going to be honest. I mean, they're targeting our climate, they're targeting our healthcare, they're targeting our access to food, they're targeting our farmers, they're targeting our immigrants who are the hardest damn workers in this nation. Like, everything is on the line, and I think people realize that. And no matter what Fox News is like spoon feeding into these people's brains every day, the reality is the proof is in the pudding. Like, the votes said it all, and like, people are experiencing real life. They're going to stop. The propaganda is going to lose its luster when you realize in real time shit's bad for me,
Yeah.
and we need people that are going to change shit for us.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know if you said, I didn't ask you about this, cause I don't think this came up the last time we were up here. How did you feel when you woke up and saw that he demolished the East Wing of the White House?
I was devastated. So I don't know if you know this, but when I did my leadership program last year with UVA for political leadership, I had a private tour because one of our cohorts, one of our fellow members' wife was a staffer for Biden. And we got a private tour of the East and West Wing in November, right after the election. So before, all of this changed. So I have pictures of me in the Rose Garden. I have pictures of me in front of the East Wing entrance before we got a private tour. And, I said this in a video the other day, but I think what's hitting me the hardest is, as someone who's a lifelong Virginian, I had in our state a literal SMOTC rally to fight back against protecting a Robert E. Lee statue. And these same people said nothing, not a peep, when an entire piece of our architectural history from 1902 origination was completely demolished to feed the ego of a narcissistic POS. Just the level of history of our first ladies in that hall, what has happened and transpired, and on top of that, the fact that it was not properly removed by EPA standards, and that building was littered with asbestos and lead, and they washed it with water and let that debris be loaded in the back of trucks and then hauled it 3 miles down the road for all to breathe and dumped it on the ground in the Potomac Mill golf course, 2.5 hours from my home. Like, not even just the complete disrespect of history and architecture, but the disrespect to our climate and the people there. Like, I don't know if you all know, but we literally have free golf lessons on that course for minorities and young people.
Yeah.
So like, it broke my heart on so many different levels, because it's just gone. Like, it's gone.
Yeah.
Like, that's something that this guy, and it's the epitome of his administration. It's something he has taken away from us that we can never get back. And I'm just like, I need people in leadership on his team, on his party, to stand up and say, you're not taking anything else from us, because we're going to take everything from you if you don't.
It kind of represents, when I saw it, right? First of all, he lied, right? He said there wouldn't be
100%.
demolition. He said, but what annoyed me more than anything was when he said nobody cares about the East Wing. And it represents how he feels about the Constitution. It represents how he feels about democracy. He does not care. He doesn't care about the foundation of who we are. He does not care at all. And that's why I think it's hilarious. You have these Republicans who are essentially fear-mongering about, socialism, right? Being the guardrail so billionaires can't take advantage of basic human rights. And Donald Trump's actively dismantling the Constitution. I mean, what do you're scared of socialism that's already here, but you're not afraid of the fact that the president of the United States is actively dismantling your Constitution, targeting your individual liberty? I mean, that's remarkable to me.
It's crazy. It's crazy that the things that they will dismiss and defend to their dying breath. If Biden did a fraction of if Obama did a fraction of what is happening right now for the benefits of Democrats, they would but they will get in the box. Like Bobby here apparently is going off in your comment section from what I see, but Bobby here will swear up and down that we were in fascism, authoritarian dictatorship under Biden, but can't cite a single constitutional amendment that was violated. And it's the fact that we can point to countless constitutional amendments that are being crossed, and they say nothing, and if anything they defend it to their core. Like it's diabolical is what it is. It's diabolical.
Yeah, it is. Well, that's largely because they don't know the Constitution, right?
I mean, facts.
They really don't, and so they don't understand it, and they don't really care because it doesn't really matter, right? Whether it's an executive order, whether it's trying to criminalize an ideology, it doesn't matter. Due process, right? American citizens are being arrested or detained by ICE and being told they need to show their citizenship. Like when is that normal?
Yep. Or the fact we have 170 U.S. citizens that have been detained for various periods of time with denied complete access to their own personal lawyers and family.
Yeah.
And now I understand we had our first U.S. citizen adult illegally deported.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard about that. The gentleman he was not born here, but he was brought here by his father who was naturalized. And then he, because of his age, was automatically naturalized. He was a naturalized U.S. citizen. He has known no other country. And he was deported at age 45 after living here since he was a baby, like an infant.
Here's one thing I can tell you, Heidi. They don't know. I talk to them on a daily basis. They know very little about the Constitution. They don't really understand it. But I remember debating Republicans and they would claim they're constitutionalist, right? They would say, I'm a constitutionalist. That's largely what Republicans would say every time I spoke to them. I'm a constitutionalist. Of course, they wouldn't know the Constitution, but they all said that, right? Mm-hmm. They will support anything Trump does. It does not matter what it is. There is no limit for a lot of these people. They'll go along with just about anything. I had a conversation with somebody yesterday. Is it a necessary sacrifice that American citizens are being impacted by this deportation operation? That they're being, I saw a guy from Brooklyn, right? This video disturbed me deeply. This guy's from Brooklyn, right? Black guy. He's walking down the street. They're conducting that operation where they essentially want to catch people making those fake Gucci bags or whatever the purpose of the investigation was. But this guy's walking down the street and they try and ask him, are you an American citizen? Of course, he doesn't, right? Answer. And I wouldn't either. And they grab him and slam him up against the wall and put cuffs on him. He's from Brooklyn. They're just racially profiling people, using it as their singular basis for reasonable suspicion and detaining people unlawfully and unconstitutionally and forcing them to identify whether or not they're citizens of this country. That's not what this is about. Right? And since when are we allowing this anyway? I talked about this also yesterday. The Equal Protection Clause of the Constitution. Law enforcement can't use race as a single reason to investigate someone or to arrest or detain someone. Like, since when is that okay? How late did I stream last night? I streamed till like midnight because Mom Donnie's speech happened, and then I did a couple more debates, and I went from there. No, Cody, they can't. Not just based on race. There's a multitude of factors they claim to use, race included. But race by itself, the Equal Protection Clause of the Constitution, would prohibit that from being the case. Unfortunately, they do. Should they be able to? No. They shouldn't. Constitutionally, they shouldn't. Yes, they can. They're cleaning up the street. Cody, cleaning up the street from what? From what, Cody, are they cleaning up the street from? From what? People going to work? People feeding their families? Cleaning up the street? Federal law is supreme. I don't know if you know this, but it applies to federal police as well, federal law enforcement. Constitution still applies. Do you post on TikTok when you're streaming on YouTube? No, I not always. I didn't yesterday. Okay, Cody, then tell me about it. Why are you not telling me about it? Like, it's unbelievable. Like, yeah. They're cleaning up the streets. What streets are they cleaning up? The streets. This guy says I'm scared. Who is this guy? You think I'm scared of you, Bobby J?
No. Your chat was calling me scared, so I was just flipping it back on them and saying, no, he's scared.
Oh, I've talked to you before. You're just under a fake name and fake profile picture, right?
It's a picture of Frank Reich.
Yeah, I've talked to you before, right? I've dunked on you many times, right?
No, you made some stupid points. What do you think about
Really? Don't. I made some stupid points. So you said that the federal government, the Constitution doesn't apply? Is that what you said?
No, I said federal immigration law reigns supreme in this country. If you don't like it, you're going to fucking jail.
What do you mean reigns supreme? Like, can you expand on that argument, please?
Oh yeah, so if you're like a mayor of like a city, let's say Chicago, and you say we're going to use our police to arrest the ICE agents, that is not going to fucking fly. You should be jailed. Same with J.P. Pritzker, if you're governor of a state, and you say we're going to interfere and block these federal agents. No. Federal law is supreme. That's the law of the land. You get in the way, you're going to fucking jail.
Well, it's not, Liam. So, first of all, it depends on what they're doing. If they're breaking the law, right, then they certainly could make the argument. But if they're not breaking the law, technically, if they're just fulfilling their federal duties, yes, this would be the case. But not if they're breaking the law. When you say that it's supreme, that doesn't actually make sense. The Constitution still applies. The 14th Amendment still applies. The equal
that's federal law. Federal law is supreme. There you go. You agree?
Yeah, but equal protection. You're arguing something completely different, right? Can you interfere with the federal government fulfilling federal duties? Technically, no. But that's not what we're talking about.
J.P. Pritzker wants to. No, that's what they want. They ran on that.
You said that in response to me making a statement about the Equal Protection Clause and using race as a singular basis to arrest someone.
Well, it's not singular. It's
right. I understand.
It's like holistic.
That's their argument, that it's a multitude of factors. But I'm telling you that it absolutely. Can you give me, outside of race? I just gave a specific circumstance of an individual walking down the street from Brooklyn, just simply walking down the street and was arrested. Why were police detaining him? What other than his race led them to believe he's potentially undocumented?
Well, I'm not familiar with the case, but probably. They're going to these areas to pick up people. Like they have them on their. If someone gets pulled over by the cops,
can you give me one factor outside of race, like that they would typically use?
Well, I can't speak to like a particular thing I don't know anything about. Like you're talking about a single deportation.
No, just give me
that you saw in like a video on Instagram or something.
Here's the point. There's clearly no process of investigating individuals in a lot of cases. I can't say 100% of the time, but in a lot of cases, otherwise they wouldn't be accidentally arresting American citizens. Had there been an investigatory process prior to arresting these people, they would know they're American citizens. So outside, just when they jump out and accidentally detain American citizens and claim that they're undocumented, and then they prove their citizenship status, outside of race, what factor are they using to essentially gain reasonable suspicion for the stop?
So when you stop an individual, so I'm not an ICE agent. I don't know what they tell these people.
Reasonable suspicion. So what factor outside of race are they using to find reasonable suspicion?
Yeah, I guess they're like their ID. Like if you don't have an ID, like let's say you're not like, if you have no legal status in this country.
How do you know that?
Well, let's say they got stopped by like a traffic officer and they didn't have any ID.
No, we're talking about walking down the street. I was very specific.
Okay, and this is
People have
person
been
out there
showing
walking.
IDs and still taken and told that they're lying about their documentation. Fun fact. There's multiple
I
occurrences,
mean, there
including
has
the 170
in the
U.S.
history of the
citizens that have been
world,
detained.
someone's. I
No,
mean, you don't think
I'm
anyone's
saying
ever lied about their ID?
Wait. Under this current administration, we are aware of 170 U.S. citizens who had legal documentation, some of which presented it in the moment, and were still deported or detained and not given any type of due process or access to their lawyers or families. Is that the like America you dream of? Like legitimately.
Yeah,
Well, yeah. I mean, we had 10 million illegals let in under Biden. You have to get them out. They're not deporting nearly enough. At this rate, we're going to have less.
Oh, wait.
There's going to be like.
Are these okay? So you're making the claim. Wait. They're deporting people that have been here 10 and 20 and 30 and 40 years. I just mentioned a gentleman that was naturalized when he was an infant and he's 45 years old. Was Biden in office 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago?
Well, there's a difference between letting someone in and deporting them.
No. You just said he's deporting the 10 million that came here under Biden.
I didn't say that. I didn't say they were.
Yes, you did.
Well, there's a difference.
Yes, you did.
I didn't say that.
The vast
let me tell you
majority,
I said Biden
of the people
let
being
in
deported. Vast majority of
let
people
me
that
tell
have
you what I
been
believe.
deported have been here for years beyond Biden's administration.
I know.
People that so
well, let me
why
tell
are
you
we
why.
deporting?
You know why?
Oh my God.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, let me tell you why. Before you assume what I'm going to tell you, I could just tell you what I think, and then you can respond.
You did say
it'd be a lot easier that way.
Under Biden.
Well, I didn't say that Trump was targeting the individuals let in under Biden. Obviously, he's going after all of them. You got to get 10 million out. When you're
dude.
Look,
you're getting swept up in the dragnet. Do you know what a dragnet is? You're
let's
getting
talk about
everyone.
this. What specifically are undocumented immigrants doing that justifies spending?
Fucking voting for undocumented.
No, they're not.
Well, he said undocumented. I mean, he didn't finish. But I was going to say a good example would say they're voting for fucking Zohran Mamdani, but we're talking about illegals.
They can't vote.
Yes, I just said that. I'm aware.
So then again, what specifically are undocumented immigrants doing? Because I like to include.
On average, undocumented immigrants, like they take way more from the system than they pay in. Right?
Really? Okay, can you show me some kind of study that proves that to be true? Because every single study that I've read that Republicans use in these arguments unfairly inflate the fiscal burden. So what study are you talking about?
What study? Oh, it's referring to like their medical payments at the emergency rooms.
Can you give me can you give me the fiscal burden, please, and I'll debunk it? Like
yearly?
No, just give me what's the fiscal burden annually?
I don't know.
Then how do you know that they're a net negative if you don't know the fiscal burden?
I read a study on it like years ago, like before the
study you read. You're talking about probably is the FAIR study. Does that sound familiar?
It does sound kind of familiar, yeah.
Yeah, that study's been debunked a million times. I talked about this yesterday. The FAIR study does things like includes the costs of American-born citizens of undocumented immigrants as costs of undocumented immigrants.
Well, yeah, I would agree that undocumented immigrants are a stimulus to the economy. Like, just look at the stock market under Biden.
Let me ask you a question, right? Because since they can't come up with a number that would prove they're a net negative, right? Let me just ask you this question. Do you think it's unfair, right, when conducting a study like this to include the cost of American-born children of undocumented immigrants?
Yes, obviously. If they were children of two undocumented immigrants and they just happen to be born on the soil, yeah, obviously. They're contributing to that problem.
So here's the problem.
That'd be like saying if an undocumented immigrant litters on the ground, the fucking garbage doesn't count. Not to compare a kid to garbage, but...
Cool. Let me ask you this, though. What if you don't include future tax contributions? What if you're just including the cost of American-born children?
Well, yeah, obviously, if you let in 10 million people, their tax contributions, you're going to get...
Bobby, you're not listening.
No, I agree. The tax contributions are going to be up.
Bobby, obviously. No, you're not listening. The study doesn't include future tax contributions to offset the cost. You understand? So it unfairly inflates the burden. Mathematically.
But even if you made the argument that undocumented immigrants pay more into the system than they take, and they're going to stipend the U.S. economy, I'd still be against all that. I'd be willing to go through an economic depression if we were to deport every illegal immigrant. I think it's that important to the country.
Well, truthfully, you would definitely experience a lot.
There'd be a definite. you would see a depression. Probably.
Shut up. You said I was scared in the chat, and I'm deliberately trying to show everybody.
Well, you agree with me. I said there would be a depression if we deported every immigrant.
The point
definitely
is,
would see that.
The point is,
but it'd be worth it in the long run.
The point is, you can't give me a study that proves they're net negative, correct? If you're talking about the FAIR study, tell me so I can list.
I can give you plenty of studies. Yeah, they commit more crime. Look at the fucking crime rate of these immigrants.
Okay, they don't. Can you? Okay, so I'll ask again. Can you give me one study that proves undocumented immigrants contribute to a rising crime rate? You can pick any state in the country, including borders.
Yeah, Arizona. The one out of Arizona was good. It was like 2-to-1 rate.
Again, can you tell me what?
Yeah, you said the study that it's any state. I want the study.
What study?
Look at the Arizona study.
All right, what study?
Just type in like 2020 Arizona undocumented immigrant study. It'll come up depending on what you, or even on Google probably. It was like 2021 or 2022. It was one of the 20s. It was pretty clear.
Like the study that you really. So here it is, right here.
It exists. Your chat. Wait! I gotta make fun of your chat. They all said it's fake. You found it in 2 seconds.
No, I didn't find it. I'm simply looking at the crime rate. I already know the answer is that there isn't one because
you're comparing them. Our crime rate's already so high because
again, they do not commit more crime than American-born citizens, right? Let's see.
It depends what demographic you're looking at. There is a particular demographic that do commit more crimes, but I do not. I'm not in that group.
90% of people, right, who commit crimes in Arizona are American-born citizens. 1.9.
Yeah, but crime is like a demographic thing. It's not like a citizen-based thing.
1.9% were legal immigrants, and 9%.
Yeah, but a lot of them were immigrants. A lot of those illegal immigrants commit crime.
You can talk over me all you want. Doesn't mean you won, right? So I'm asking, can you provide me one state in the country where undocumented immigrants contribute to a rising crime rate or commit more crime per capita than American-born citizens?
Arizona, boom, easy, ding, 500 points. I'm going to max out my wager on that.
That's not true.
Full press.
That's not true.
Full press, 500 units.
But it's not true.
It is true.
But it's not true.
What do you mean?
It's not true. I can say Donald Trump is not the president and the earth is flat. That doesn't mean it's real, right? You have to like substantiate it. Why is it not true? All right, I'll wait for you to pull up the study then.
The study of what?
Pull up the study that Americans that undocumented immigrants commit more crime per capita.
I have to is there like a screen share function on here?
Yeah, so you can tell me what study it is. Find it right now and I'll wait really quick to prove it for everybody that there is none.
You don't wait. Just to be clear,
No. I have been.
Well, so I know what you're looking for. Let me ask you what. So when I know what you're looking for, just to be clear, you believe there is not a single study on the internet that shows undocumented immigrants commit a crime. And if I provide you that, you will admit that I'm wrong. I'm right, and you're wrong.
That I won't.
Just to be clear.
Not that I won't be able to debunk.
Do you also think black people commit less crime than white people per capita, or how just to test your delusion? I know it's not related, but just to see how delusional you are.
You're not this simple.
Well, yeah, black people obviously commit most of the crime.
Please tell me you're not this simple. So again,
you don't think demographics plays into crime?
Listen, I know that you want to pivot. I'm asking.
It's not a pivot. I'm just asking about. If you ask me that, I'll find you your study. I just want to see how delusional you are.
I'm not asking you about black people in the citizens of the United States. I'm talking about.
To be fair, you didn't answer, so he knows. So again, he just doesn't want to say. Fair enough.
I just want to cook you right now and ask you to provide the study that undocumented immigrants are committing more crime per capita than American citizens. Go find it now. Don't talk again.
Okay, and when I do, you're going to say I'm right?
Nope, I'm going to debunk it.
Okay, well then what's the fucking point of me finding it if you're just going to automatically disagree with it? You haven't even read it.
I'm going to, just like I did with the FAIR study, I'm going to explain how they're manipulating the data. Just like with the
Well, don't you see the issue with that? You're working backwards. You're already assuming the study is flawed.
No, because
you have to read the study and then say, well, it's flawed because of this. Not it's flawed and before you even read the study. That's a fucking backwards way of thinking, and it's not intellectually honest at all. It's the same way the flat earthers function.
because
It's
I know.
they operate on the function that the earth is flat, and then they work backwards to prove it. The same way you're saying all studies are fake, I can prove it, even though I haven't read them yet. How do you know it's fake if you haven't read it? Because you haven't.
Well, listen, I know this is complicated for you. How do I know it's fake? Because there is none. It's not true. So there can't be a legitimate study.
You can't even.
Excuse me.
Steel man the argument for me.
Pivoting. I'm almost finished with you. I just need
I'm
you
not
to
pivoting. Define pivot. You don't even know what a pivot is. Define pivot.
Provide it so I could wreck your argument or concede that you've lost the debate.
Yeah, I'm going to provide it.
Okay, I'll wait.
But just to clarify.
No more clarifying. Go get it now.
Okay, I'll ask you after. It'll take.
How long do you think before he runs? Undocumented immigrants don't commit more crime than American-born citizens. Yeah, you can come up in a second, Cosmo. I just want to finish this guy real quick. I'll bring Jess up again here in a second. And you can talk to Jess. I just want to cook this dude real quick.
(2018) CPRC
says what?
Yeah, the title is Undocumented Immigrants, U.S. citizens, convicted criminals in Arizona.
And what does it say?
Yeah, the study finds that the undocumented immigrants are 142% more likely to commit crime than a natural-born U.S. citizen.
No. That's not what I asked you. That is an opinion based off a number of factors. I asked you to provide me proof, right?
It is proof. It's a study.
Undocumented immigrants commit more crime per capita than American citizens. You
didn't even read the study. I just provided a study that proved
That's
it.
not
You didn't
what
even read
this
it, and you
study
said it was
does.
fake.
So first of all, this study's also...
You see the issue in chat. When you work backwards, you don't even read the study, but you say you're going to debunk it. This is the issue when you work backwards.
So
you have to read the study. It's complete dishonest intellectually. Any honest person would read this.
Okay, so I know what you're citing, right?
Adam has a point of view,
Are
and
you
he's
going to
telling
stop
you...
talking?
Well, you cut me off, so it's kind of
scared.
tough.
That's what you are. You're scared. It's okay.
Scared? I'm scared of you, really.
First of all, I know what study you're talking about. And
okay, who wrote it? Who wrote the study? You're familiar with it? Who wrote it?
So you're talking about...
He's looking at his screen. He's looking at his screen. You have to look at your screen, dude. You're not familiar. He's looking at his screen.
Guy, are you going to stop talking and let me explain? I asked you...
If you're familiar with it, who wrote it?
That's not what this is about. So I'm going to ask you again. Can you provide... One more time. I'm going to give you one more opportunity to give me the
You're
proof.
a flat earther, dude. I literally provided you the study. You didn't read it, and you said it was fake. Are you fucking dumb?
Again.
What's your issue with the study on that it's stupid and dumb? Give me a reason.
Show that undocumented immigrants commit more crime than American-born citizens per capita. You goof, did you read it? Oh my God.
142% more. No, it literally gave you the figure that you're asking for. It's 142%.
What's it saying?
Yeah, undocumented immigrants are 142% more likely in Arizona to commit a crime than a documented person. Obviously. Did you fucking read it? No?
He still can't. The data doesn't support the claim. Are you this dense?
Wait, now you've already debunked all the data in the claim?
By the way, this study doesn't even include whether or not they were convicted, whether or not they were innocent or not.
The acquittals. They were acquitted.
Yeah.
Just to show you're honest, can you at least steel man my argument so you know you understand? So I know you understand it.
Listen, here's the thing.
To prove to me you understand what I'm talking about, steel man my argument back to me.
Steel man, you're so goofy, dude. So again, I'm going to ask you to provide
give me my argument back to me so I know you understand it. I don't think you understand what
You don't have an argument. I asked a question. I asked you to provide.
Well, there it is, right there. You have no argument. So you're just not listening.
You're scared. I asked you a question. I said, go provide me a study that indicates undocumented immigrants commit more crime per capita than American-born citizens. You have not done that. Provide me data that supports your claim that undocumented. Listen, if you can't understand the question, it's because you're not confident.
I got another one for you. You didn't like that one? Here's another data point for you.
Okay.
2% of the population of Arizona under 35 for undocumented immigrants is about 2%. But in prison,
can you show me data that supports your claim that undocumented immigrants commit more? Again,
here's another data point.
Listen, if you're not trolling, then you quite literally are incompetent. I'll ask you again. Can you show me data that undocumented immigrants commit more crime per capita than American citizens? You're just pulling up random facts that are unrelated to what we're talking about.
No, it's not a factoid. Wait. So if I brought up a stat on the incarceration rates of undocumented immigrants,
how old are you?
33.
Okay, you're 33 years old and you can't understand what I'm asking you for?
No, you can't even steel man my argument. So you have no idea what you're talking about. You're like a room temp IQ kind of guy, like an 87 probably. Like, I'm not like gonna
listen. You're what I do this often, and I run into these pseudo intellectuals who come up here and
you're a midwit with no command of the facts. Like you have nothing. You have no knowledge,
you're dumb. I embarrassed you as usual. So I told you, right, that they don't commit more crime. I've asked you 3 times to substantiate the argument. You've come back with information not relevant to what I asked you. So I asked you one more time.
You can just say it's not relevant, but it is relevant.
Can you provide me proof that undocumented immigrants commit more crime than American-born citizens per capita? He's back to Google again. It's funny because the 5 Republicans that support him.
Easy. The data set that you're looking for that is clearly laid out, fact checked, peer reviewed, that you can't just call stupid.
Okay. So once again,
this is the name of the study. It's a 2018 CRPC study by John Loth that goes into.
Again, I've already provided for you. That does not include data that that undocumented immigrants commit more crime than Americans. Can you tell me really quick, Bobby?
Did you fucking read it? No.
Bobby, what does per capita mean?
Yeah, per capita. So like, let's say there's a group of 100 or a group of 10. You would use a set units to measure. It's like a ratio. So like per capita, 1 out of 100,000, 1 out of.
I think I've proven my point. Quite literally, dumb. Like, that's remarkable. Rich, go ahead.
Yeah, so you and Jess were having a good conversation earlier, and I had a question because you guys.
Well, let me bring her up.
Okay, and I'm not attacking either. I just had a clarifying question.
I mean, after all of that, to not even be able to tell me is insane. But I figured he didn't understand the question. I mean, he's not this regular Republican pseudo intellectual. But again, I say it all the time. They're so far behind in the race. They think they're leading. Rich, go ahead. What's your question?
Yeah, so you guys mentioned how they dug into her past and found something silly to criticize her about. And I agree, that is silly. But then when they do that to Trump all the time, they'll find something quote unquote racist or something illegal he did in the past and try to use it against him. You know what I mean? So
the thing they used against Jess was from years ago on social media, peeing in the woods. The stuff where name something equivalent they've used against Trump.
No, but you get the point I'm making.
No, I don't.
No, but it's the point. It's the the hypocrisy. You see where I'm coming from? You guys use old stuff from Trump.
Jess, do you want to respond to this? All right, she's on a call. So let me respond to it. Give me an equivalent to using Jess being in the woods.
Right. So you got like you talk about like the quote unquote racist stuff about Trump and then his lawsuits and all that old stuff that he quote unquote whatever he was alleged to do back in the day. You see where I'm coming from, but it's a good argument. You got to admit it's a good argument. It's a good point that I'm making, Adam. You need to admit that it's a good argument and a good point that I'm making. You just don't want to admit that because there's hypocrisy on both sides. Dude,
it's hard not to disassociate when talking to these guys. So again, can you provide me something that's equivalent to targeting her for a social media post of peeing in the woods, which by the way, didn't show anything. She literally just said, I'm peeing in the woods. Like, oh my God, the horror. I think she was on a run or something.
Right.
The horror. Oh my God. People don't pee in the woods when they're on a run. Oh my God.
Right, exactly. And so it's being desperate and digging into somebody's past to find something to hold against them. Give
me an example of them doing this to Trump and what specifically.
And it's a good argument. Just admit that I have a good point. You never concede. Just admit that it's a good point, a good argument. Just admit that, Adam. Dude, seriously, Adam.
What? I'm not conceding. Can you give me something that's equivalent, right? That they did with Trump.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So they'll dig into Trump's past.
No. Give me specifically what you're talking about. Something that's equivalent.
Right. So they'll talk about how allegedly, supposedly, he didn't rent to certain people back in like the '60s or something like that, and they want to say he's racist. You know, you get the point I'm making. It's not even that's one of many. But just the point is the fact
Did
that
you just say that's equivalent to
well, and then the documents, all this stuff that happened.
right? Did you just say not renting to black people is equivalent to peeing in the woods on a run?
No.
So can you give me something as petty as trying to criticize her for peeing in the woods on a run?
I'm talking about specifically being desperate and digging into the past. That's the point that I'm making, Adam.
That's what happens in politics, but not with this petty stuff. Proves that they actually didn't have anything. Again, why do I have to repeat questions to Republicans 400 times? Can they not comprehend the questions I'm asking them? Do I need to write them in big red crayon? Like, I don't know what to do. Why do I have to repeat myself 40 times every single time? And then people go, why do you lose your voice? Well, what do you think?
Wow, Adam. Wow. So you're being disingenuous and dishonest. So that's see, some days you're being honest and good faith and having a good conversation. But today you're not being all around there. You're being biased, confirmation bias. That's what they call that. You're being confirmation biased, Adam, and it shows to everybody. We can see it happening too. And you better hope somebody's not recording this because this will be clipped and the comments will agree with you. You better hope that somebody's not recording this.
Rich. No one cares. No one cares, Rich.
You don't think it's a big deal, Adam?
No one cares.
You don't think it's a big deal, but it can't come back. I've seen it happen.
Nope, I promise you, nobody cares.
That's arrogant and that's delusional, Adam.
So you still can't give me something equal. Jess, did you want to answer this?
I just find it interesting, and it's not an attack. It's just a clarifying point. The hypocrisy, you know what I mean? The hypocrisy, that's it.
So it's not hypocrisy. You still haven't given me something as...
No, what I'm saying, Adam, listen, Adam, they should not have came at Jess for something so silly, desperate in the past. But I'm saying that applies for Trump as well. They should not have
done that. Okay, Rich, I don't know what you're not understanding. They haven't done that with Trump, okay? That's it.
Wow.
Have a good day, Rich.
Wow.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Sorry, Adam. I'm my fault, man. I'm a friendly. My bad.
That's all good, man. Take care.
You too.
Jess was on. No, she was on the phone. I don't know. But I wanted her to address it because, if you're a Trump supporter, tell me in the chat If you're not a Trump supporter, please hop out. No, I mean, they literally just don't answer the questions. They don't answer the questions. And it's just, it gets old. Like when you have to repeat yourself several times in a row for them. Like that guy, I don't know how many times I asked that guy, can you provide me proof that undocumented immigrants commit more crime than American-born citizens? He literally can't do it. He just keeps, he'll Google something really quick, see study on immigration, blah, 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 and then come back and cite the study without reading the study. There isn't data that supports the claim. It's not true. Jess, I don't know if you're there or not. It doesn't show for me you're muted, though. He kept repeating the same study. Yeah, it's a study that doesn't even include convictions, by the way. Republicans have used it before, but it's a study that doesn't even include convictions. So it quite literally doesn't even include whether or not the person was wrongfully arrested in a country where we know that occurs, especially to marginalized groups, to minority groups of people, right? You can look at any study pretty much. Crime is substantially lower for undocumented immigrants. And there's a number of reasons why, but primarily undocumented immigrants don't want to come in contact with law enforcement. Like they don't want to come in contact with law enforcement. Why would they work hard to come over here and better their lives only to be arrested and eventually deported? It makes no sense. So they typically don't come in contact with law enforcement. They avoid law enforcement at all costs. They obey the law. So if your legitimate argument is you want to lower the rate of crime, right, then your target is not going to be undocumented immigrants. It's going to be American-born citizens. He was reading the MAGA files like that guy. And by the way, where is that guy? He was up here and then he left. I don't think anyone in here is a MAGA supporter. I really would like to talk to another MAGA supporter, but they're all scared. Oh, I have to answer a question. I have to cite a study. I have to cite a source. I'm not doing that. By the way, did you guys feel a little bit different when you went to bed last night? MAGA's a little unhinged because this is what you say to MAGA today. Are you feeling a little blue? Are you feeling a little blue after last night? That's understandable. We all feel a little blue sometimes. We do. We all feel a little blue. Get ready, though. It comes in waves. It comes in waves. And the midterms are going to be ice cold. Ice cold. My only MAGA employee called in today. Seriously? Dude, I swear to God, the debates that I had, if you guys were watching on the Play app, the Tube app last night, the debates that I had, dude. Oh my God. Like really, like there's a lot of MAGA people over there, man. Like it's crazy. We had a lot of really twisted people that of course they got dunked on. There was a guy yesterday. What were they arguing yesterday? Same thing. Receiving benefits, the asylum process. He was trying to dispute the asylum process. They have this idea that they can't be in the United States, that they need to stop in the first country, but the United States allows them to do that. It's our law. And that these are lawfully present people and they don't want to identify them as lawfully present. You need a hype track saying, Mom Donnie, turn up the volume. Yeah, that would be cool. No, MAGA doesn't. Absolutely not. Absolutely does not. Guys, they don't. Let's be honest. We're being held hostage by complete morons. I mean, that's really what's happening here. We're being held hostage by complete morons. Guys, if you do support the live, I don't think Jess is there. I think she lagged out or something. If you guys do support the live, I'd appreciate supporting in the link tree in my bio. If you guys are here every day, you enjoy the content, I would appreciate supporting in the link tree in the bio. Make sure you use the link in the bio, though, because there's fake accounts out there. So use the links in the top of the bio there. I absolutely loved the Mamdani speech. It was incredible. It was very motivating. And it's bigger than New York. Bobby he was in the chat trying to act like a tough guy, saying I'm scared. He gets up here and doesn't even know what he's talking about. That's typical. It's a start for sure. It's what happens when people vote, dude. It's what happens when people get out and fucking vote. You know, when we vote, we win. That's what matters. Neely, thank you so much, Neely. Seriously. Neely, thank you so much for the 10. I appreciate it.
When we vote, we win. When we vote, we win.
Are you a Trump supporter?
This Michael, my Michael account's banned. When we vote, we win. Blue wave. Grow the fuck up.
Michael, you're not going to cry, are you?
You're not going to cry.
Are you crying again, Michael?
No, listen. I'm not coming up here to yell. I literally swear to God, I yelled for like 4 hours last night.
You're literally mocking me right now, Michael. Now I don't feel bad for making you cry.
You're happy. This is how much of losers you guys are. You're happy because woke states voted blue. Blue states. Oh my God! You didn't think New York was gonna be red, did you? It wasn't gonna happen. It wasn't gonna happen. Enjoy your fucking Mandani, because after this is done. After this is done, you're a bunch of fucking losers. Last year, you remember what happened last year today? Around last year today, you guys were crying because Trump was getting ready to win. Hey, listen, in less than 24 hours,
someone's not paying attention.
I was not paying attention. Shut up. No, you're a loser. You're a loser, and that's what you do is lose.
They're crashing out.
And Mandani,
crashing out.
No, listen. He wants to get up on TV in front of the whole country. He says, and this isn't verbatim, but it's among the lines. He says, Mandani says, the best place to demise Donald Trump is the place that gave rise to Donald Trump. And all the fucking woke crowd, they started screaming and yelling like he was saying. He's not saying shit. He's blowing smoke up their asses. He's a mayor. He's not even a fucking governor. He's not a governor. In that state, New York is the shithole. New York and California are the shitholes of this country. And you can keep laughing, but you guys aren't going to do anything. You have no power. You have none.
Michael,
you're a loser.
Michael,
you cried for the last year.
Michael.
We're under a dictator. That's all you've ever said. We're under a dictator. But now you guys are happy. What happened to the government shutdown? You don't care about the government being shut down now,
thank you, Lena.
You don't care about the government shutdown,
Lena.
do you?
Appreciate
you don't
Lena.
care.
Thank you so much.
It's performative. That's all you guys have ever been is performative. And you're fucking shut up. It's performative. You don't care about the government shutdown now, do you? You don't care. You don't care. Everybody knows.
Blue waves in the chat.
We got
Blue
man
waves
Danny.
in the chat.
We got man Danny.
Blue waves
I don't
in the
care.
chat, baby. Blue waves in the chat, baby.
You're a
Blue
loser.
waves.
You've cried for the last year. It
Blue
wasn't
waves
a blue
in the chat, guys.
Blue states voted blue. You're happy because blue states voted blue.
Oh
You're
my
happy
God.
because that's how much losing that Donald Trump has made y'all do that you're happy blue states voted blue. Adam, you're a grade A level loser. You will never win at anything. Ever. You will never win at nothing. Fuck you.
Oh my God. Dude, that was a great crash out. Oh my God. Oh my God. That was epic, dude. What a crash out. Michael, listen, right? Remember when I made you cry over a 2A debate because you care so much about firearms? Does anyone remember when Michael cried? He still will never live down the day he cried during a debate because he was getting cooked so hard. Literally cried. Not kidding. Actually cried because he got cooked. And he loves those pew-pews so much. He was so stressed out during a debate that he started crying. Oh, man. Oh, God. Look, and MAGA's, this is what this MAGA is spamming the chat. Why are you trying to disarm America? Dutch boy, why don't you come in here? Let's have a conversation. Oh, my God. All right, what do you mean trying to disarm America? What are you talking about?
All the regulations Democrats are trying to put on the Second Amendment.
Okay, so you care about the Constitution then? You're a constitutionalist?
There's certain parts of it.
Only certain parts? That's not how it works.
Yeah, well, it's not the full Constitution, the Bill of Rights, pretty much. Everything else after that is bullshit.
Okay, good. Give me your first 5 amendments.
What?
You heard me.
First 5?
You delaying?
No.
Yes, you are.
All right, number 1, freedom of speech. I'm just going to break it down. I don't know the whole thing. I'm not a scholar in the amendment. 2, the right to bear arms. 3 and 4, not too familiar with. And 5.
So you're going to tell me, what's 5?
Always on TV, I would see. I plead the 5th.
Yeah, due process. So what you're telling me is that you don't actually care about the Constitution. You just care about your right to own pew-pews, basically. Is that basically what you're saying? Because I don't want you to bring up the Constitution if you don't know the Constitution. I just talked about this earlier, right? And Donald Trump's actively going after freedom of speech. Do you value the First Amendment as much as you do the Second Amendment? Often people who are Second Amendment absolutists say we need our Second Amendment to protect our First Amendment. So do you believe strongly in the First Amendment?
I believe in freedom of speech, yeah, but Democrats are doing the same shit.
Okay, explain. What are Democrats doing with freedom of speech?
Do you think censorship is blocking the freedom of speech?
According to the Supreme Court, it wasn't a First Amendment violation because there was no threats. They weren't forced to do anything. There were certainly suggestions made, what they characterized as pressure, but in terms of whether or not it's a First Amendment violation, no. I think ultimately, like Donald Trump writing executive orders targeting people for speech is far more significant.
So during the Biden administration, right, I was on Facebook.
Yeah.
Every time I said something online, I mean, I was blocked for months at a time, not even like 20 days or a couple of days. No, I was blocked like freaking 3/4 of that year. I think I was on Facebook 25 days. Facebook has the right to curate their message as a platform. That is their protected right. And
Yeah.
it was the one that
The government didn't do that to you. I don't know what you're saying. The Supreme Court has stated that social media platforms have the right to curate their own message.
Mark Zuckerberg came out and said he was being pressured by the Biden administration.
They said pressured, but it wasn't deemed a First Amendment violation. The case was dropped, as a matter of fact.
Years after the fact, the case was dropped. But
the point is that it wasn't considered a First Amendment violation. There was no threat. So, for instance, right, when Donald Trump recently tried to get Jimmy Kimmel off television, right, by essentially ordering them to threaten regulatory violations or that they'll revoke their broadcast licensure if they don't remove him. That's an example of a First Amendment violation because you're threatening consequence if you don't do it. If you don't do this, we're going to do that. That's a First Amendment violation.
Trump, though, it was the stations that paid him, Disney and all them. They're the ones that did it, not Donald Trump.
What do you mean?
Who airs him? Who's invested in his show?
Who airs him? I don't know what you're talking about. You're saying that there were no threats made?
Everyone, the Disney and all the. Oh my God! I wish I was freaking read up on this. I forgot about it. What was it? The stations that air. I put them on the air.
But you just said you're not okay with pressure. You said you're not okay with pressure. The government telling people to do something, right? So Carr, the chair of the FCC, threatened regulatory violations if they did not remove Jimmy Kimmel. That's a threat. That's saying if you don't do this, there will be this consequence. Hey, there'll be regulatory violations if you don't do this. That's a threat, right?
He's a talking head. He's not like an everyday person. He has followers, millions.
No, I'm talking about the chair of the FCC, Brendan Carr. I'm talking about the chair of the FCC threatened to revoke their broadcast licensure if they didn't remove him.
And he's government?
The chair of the FCC. Who appoints the chair of the FCC? I don't know why they're saying that the guest has no audio. Is that true, everybody, or not? Talk for a second.
Hello?
Can you guys hear him?
Testing, 1 2 1 2 testing.
Guys,
one.
you have to go out and back. You got to speak up louder, dude. You got to speak up loud. So who appoints the chair of the FCC? Who appoints the chair of the FCC?
I'm guessing it has to be government, right?
Well, they are government. They're the Federal Communications Commission. Who appoints the chair of the Federal Communications Commission?
I'm not sure.
The president, Donald Trump. So Donald Trump, right, tells Brendan Carr, who is the chair of the FCC, that if to obviously do something about the fact that they keep going after him on these late night shows. Brendan Carr comes out and outright says, you know, if you don't remove, if you don't deal with this, we're going to revoke your broadcast licensure. That's an example of a First Amendment violation because there was a threat made. If you don't do this, we're going to do this. That didn't happen in the case of Facebook. They're calling it pressure. They're saying they made suggestions, but there was no threats made. If you don't do this, we're going to do this.
You talking about the Facebook thing? No, they lied. They said all the stuff being put out was false information.
No, you said that you were removed from Facebook, correct?
Yeah.
And right, but I'm saying there was no threats made.
No, they just removed you. You didn't have a say about nothing.
Okay, well, I mean, again, social media platforms can curate their message. They didn't have to do anything, right, if they didn't want to do it. So that's not technically a First Amendment violation. But if you care that strongly about the First Amendment, can you please tell me, do you support the chair of the FCC, who's appointed by Trump, threatening to revoke broadcast licensure if they don't remove someone from the television?
Everyone has the right to be heard.
Right. So then why are you still supporting Trump after he's signed executive orders targeting symbolic speech, after he's classified Antifa as a domestic terrorist organization and tried to create a legal pretext to go after leftism as a whole? Why are you still supporting Trump after this?
Biden administration did the same thing.
They did not do the same
They
thing.
did. He lied. They lied about it. Said there's false information. FBI was in it. Everybody was in on it.
Again, I've explained this to you. They didn't. I've already explained this to you. I've already explained this to you multiple times. It's not a First Amendment
I
violation.
understand how you want to soften the Biden administration for saying, "Oh, they didn't make no threats," but you know what? They lied. They said the laptop wasn't real and all this other crap. And every time somebody brought up the laptop or anything about Biden, they were freaking banned for so freaking long on Facebook.
That's not true either. But in some
accounts that were connected to Facebook were freaking banned.
well, that's your personal anecdote that happened. But I'm telling you, they still have the right.
All I'm saying is they're all the same. Biden,
Technically, again,
Obama,
I don't know what you're not understanding. They
they're all
didn't
the
direct.
same.
In order for it to be a First Amendment violation, you would have to say they threatened them. If you don't do this, we're going to do this, and they censored speech as a result of that threat for it to be considered a First Amendment violation. Right? They engaged in communication with social media companies, whether you disagree or not. Right? To limit.
The first time Zuckerberg went to the White House in 2016, 17, or whatever it was. You remember when he went there?
What's your point?
Don't you remember Donald Trump saying he's a freak, that Zuckerberg is a freak, a weirdo? And then all of a sudden, he got banned off of Facebook. Come on, bro.
What?
Do you remember that stuff?
Got banned from Facebook and stuff for January 6th.
No. This is freaking after Mark Zuckerberg left the freaking White House. Donald Trump called him like a weirdo, whatever, all that stuff. He's a weird guy, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know exactly what the meeting was about, but after that, all of a sudden, he got banned from Facebook. They took him off the platform.
That's not true. You just completely made that story up. Yes, you did. He got banned from Facebook. Excuse me, Dutch. Listen, he got banned from Facebook on January 7th because of January 6th. And again, I've already explained this to you multiple times. Social media companies have discretion, right, on whether or not they want to curate, if they want to edit their message. They have that discretion. So if they don't want him on there because they felt he could use their platform to essentially incite violence, they're allowed to do that. That's not a First Amendment violation. But it occurred on January 7th, not what you're talking about. I don't know where you read that, but you're completely wrong. He was not banned until the 7th of January for what he did at the United States Capitol.
Bro, the deception works not just by one situation. There's 100 situations going on to make that deception play out.
Okay, so again, like back to the First Amendment, it's not a First Amendment violation. Okay, they act if you want to say
it could be a violation.
So if the government kind of like influencing, I'll even go a step further. Technically speaking, the government indirectly influencing or even directly influencing their moderation policies, which you see on apps like TikTok, right? The government has essentially influenced the moderation of this application. That's technically not a First Amendment violation. You can disagree with it. I'm not saying you should agree with it. I'm not saying it's the right thing. I'm simply referring to the constitutionality of the government influencing the moderation of platforms. That is not technically a First Amendment violation unless they directly censor. And that did not occur. So, no, or they obviously would have, said that. They didn't.
I couldn't even fight it. I just sit there and wait it out.
Again, we can certainly debate whether or not it's right or wrong. That's a legitimate discussion. But constitutionally, right, private entities, social media companies have discretion, right, on whether or not they want someone on their platform. If the government influences their terms of service, for instance, like what happens on TikTok and even other platforms, but especially TikTok, that's not deemed automatically unconstitutional. So back to the First Amendment in regards to Trump, which are First Amendment violations because we have actual proof of him doing it.
Unconstitutional, you're saying? What happened to Jimmy Kimmel was unconstitutional?
In my opinion, threatening. Yes, threatening.
What about Tucker Carlson?
Well, what do you mean with Tucker Carlson?
What happened to him? You didn't like what he was saying on the air.
He got fired. Didn't he get fired for, what did he get fired for? I don't remember specifically.
For talking just like Jimmy Kimmel, saying what he wanted, whatever was on his mind.
Yeah, but the company, I don't know what happened in that case. I would have to look it up.
You know who's in control of all that.
I don't know what that case is. I don't know what he was fired for. I can't remember. This was a while ago, and they decided to fire him. What, the government did it? I don't know. I don't know what he did. I don't remember.
All the entities that are tied up into all these media stations, all the freaking.
Well, that we have an FCC for a reason. You can't just do whatever you want on television. But the point is, Jimmy Kimmel wasn't doing anything but being critical of the president, which is you're allowed to do, right?
Well, so was Tucker, but they were both under entertainment purposes only, right? Not to take seriously.
Yeah, but wait. Fox News presents themselves as a news network, certainly as a result of a lawsuit, later said that they're, an entertainment company. But we all know they pass themselves off as a legitimate news network.
They're all just talking heads. They take orders from everybody, somebody just like everybody.
Okay, but back to what we talked about before. Why do you still support Trump? As I can lay out constitutional issues with his presidency if you support the Constitution the way that you do.
I didn't vote for Trump because of the Constitution. I mean, it's kind of stupid, but
we started this conversation with your respect for the Constitution. I asked you what amendments matter to you. First,
the Constitution is about the.
I haven't. Why are we all of a sudden?
What'd you say? I can't hear you.
Why are we echoing all of a sudden? Okay. First of all, I haven't heard a ringtone like that since I had a Razor flip phone. That's number one. But what I'm trying to get across to you, Dutch, right? I'm trying to reach you here. I'm actually putting effort into trying to reach you, so I hope you're listening. If you care about the First and Second Amendment like you claim you do, then you shouldn't be supporting Trump because he's actively going after the First Amendment.
Well, I shouldn't support any president, then, right? Anyone that came.
Why do you refuse to just accept what I'm saying? No, okay. Why? Give me an example of what you mean in terms of any president.
Well, that they all censor everybody, right? Anything that's negative about them?
No, they don't. Can you tell me? No, can you give me another example of that ever happening in the history of ever?
I can't give you off the top of my head. I know there's something what he was in, but
so at the end of the day, right? I'll ask you again: why do you still support Trump if there's constitutional issues with his presidency?
It's not about the amendments when it comes to the presidents, because regardless, all presidents shit on all the amendments, no matter what.
Oh, we're back to your claiming it, and you okay?
You want to know why I voted for Trump?
Hold on. Okay, you said they all do it. Can you give me an example of what you're talking about? Once again, I'll ask you for an example of this. Go ahead.
Not off the top of my head. I'm just saying the reason why I voted for Trump.
I didn't ask you why you voted for Trump. First, I want to establish that what you're saying is not true. You're deflecting, trying to excuse Donald Trump's unconstitutional presidency. And that's the problem I'm having. You're looking for reasons to excuse his actions by claiming this is a common occurrence in United States government. And it's not a common occurrence in United States government. So I'm asking you again, can you provide me a single example of someone doing what Trump has done?
I don't know. I would have to research that because.
Then why are you saying it?
I've only been following since Obama's been in office.
Then why are you saying it? If you don't have any evidence of what you're saying, why are you saying it?
Because I can't remember any specifics, but I remember through history since I've been alive that how presidents came out and did certain things, and everyone's crying about the Constitution and all this crap, but I can't remember specific details of them. You know, I remember.
You don't remember
I think
that.
because it was most recent.
You don't remember that.
The
No.
thing is everyone's got built-in forgetters, you know, so we forget things.
That's not
that we don't
true.
agree with.
So again, you're not going to be. If you're going to give me
All I'm
some,
saying,
if you're going to give me some, if you're-
president, they do what they do. People will deflect what they don't like about certain things, but I didn't vote for Trump because of his freaking First Amendment, whatever he's doing with the First Amendment Constitution.
so you
It's
don't
simple. I
care
voted
that the
for,
president.
low
You don't
taxes
care. Excuse me,
and
Dutch.
gas prices.
Okay, so all right. I'll address what you said. Why you voted for Trump after I say this. So when you're voting for someone, you don't consider whether or not they're going to uphold their oath to the Constitution that literally grants you your liberty.
No, because they all shit on it. All presidents shit on it when they need to.
Okay, give me one example of a president in history shitting on it like Trump.
I'll have to get back to you. We'll go all the way back to the 40s.
So you're going to try and research some legal argument. It's not equivalent to what Trump has done.
I'm going to come back to you.
Dutch, you're just going to try and Google something later on.
No, I'm not going to Google nothing. I'm not going to talk about it now.
Dutch, either way, there's no
I'm going to come back with
This is
research.
a debate. You are making a claim without any evidence of said claim. You can't
You're the
even give
one-
me a
You're
nugget.
the one that started talking about free speech.
No, you brought up the
right?
Constitution.
All I said
You
is
brought
we
up
should have our pew-pews. We
Dutch.
should be allowed to own guns.
And that's a
bringing up the whole
constitutional right, Dutch. That's the Constitution. You don't get Dutch. Shut up. You don't get to pick one amendment
Yeah, I get to
right
pick which
out
one I want,
of.
which one I
Shut
want.
up. You don't get to pick one amendment out of the Constitution and say I only care about the Second Amendment. That's not how this
I care
works.
about most of them, but the one I'm really concerned about is the Second Amendment.
Angie, thank you so much for the support on Venmo. If you guys would like to support, I would appreciate in the link tree in my bio to talk to these. Oh, God. You cannot pick and choose what amendments you think are important because you like guns here. All right? You don't get to decide, well, I like having multiple guns here. Like, you either respect the Constitution or you don't. And if you don't like something in the Constitution, you advocate for it to be amended. You do not say, well, yeah, the president has the unilateral authority to do whatever he wants, because he doesn't. That's why we have 3 branches of government.
You're a dictator right now, telling me what to do. I don't get this. You don't get that. You got a list of this. Blah, blah, blah.
All right, define dictator for me.
It's your king. Whoever you say you can't, you say Trump's your king, right?
So here's the point. Let's move on to why you said you voted for Trump. You said you voted for Trump because of taxes, I heard. Okay, so you didn't like your taxes under Biden.
And he's got until the second year before I don't vote Republican again.
Darcy, thank you so much for the 5, Darcy. I really appreciate the support, Darcy. So you said you didn't like your taxes under Biden, about basically is what you're saying.
Well, Biden had a 17% inflation all the way through the year, except 6 months
That's
prior.
not what I asked you. We're talking about taxes. You said you voted for Trump for taxes, so you didn't like tax under Biden, correct? Tiffany, thank you, Tiffany.
No, the taxes under Biden were Trump's taxes.
Right. So why would you vote for
He just
Trump?
left inflation so high, it didn't matter about lower taxes. They had to get that money for that government, so they left the inflation so high to make up for Trump's low taxes.
I don't think this guy's equipped. Guy, honestly, do you vote?
You just gotta stop reading what's on the paper and look at your fucking wallet, bro.
Okay, and that's how I determined what the inflation rate was.
It was 17% through most of his freaking presidency.
Wow.
You know when taxes go down? 6 months prior to the
That's-
next election.
That guy is
6 months prior. And you guys are crying about Trump's 3% tax right now.
so
Inflation.
guy 17% inflation is crazy, but
It was almost 20% overall inflation.
no, it wasn't.
Yes, it was, bruh.
Guy,
Yeah, were
No,
you?
no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was not. It wasn't even 10%. I don't know where.
Yes, it was. Biden thought he inherited it at 9%, but he didn't. He inherited it at like 2.4, and then it went up to 17%.
Right. Can you give me what's all right? Here's what I want you to do since you think you're right. I don't do this thing where I argue facts with people. What I do when I've discovered that you're just not going to accept information, I'm going to challenge you right now. Just minimize your screen and I want you to Google what was the highest inflation rate under Biden, and I'll wait, okay?
Yeah, hold on a second.
And then you can prove me wrong. He ran. Have a good day. I knew he'd run. I was pulling up the Jeopardy music and he ran. You realize, like, everything that's being thrown at me is incorrect. Like, you understand that, right? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, they deny the truth. Okay, you clearly don't do this, otherwise you wouldn't have that opinion. I do a pretty damn good job of holding these guys to the line and forcing them to substantiate points and making sure misinformation is not spread in front of a lot of people. I do a pretty good job at that. I'm not going to let you try and mischaracterize it as if I don't. I hold these guys to the fucking line every time. They just don't accept fact. They will tell you something is wrong when it's right. Right? And they will tell you something is right when it's wrong. And they'll tell you things that aren't true and believe them to their core. Well, sometimes I'll just do what I just did. I want you to go Google. This person says you did not correct him. I literally did correct him. I said it didn't even reach 10%. Quilting hippie chick. You might wanna work on your listening skills because you clearly need to badly. Quilting hippie chick. Quilting hippie chick. That name is insane. That's all the proof I need. How long do you spend on the phone trying to get people fired? Seriously. Like, how long have you spent on the phone with 1-800 numbers to get a manager at Dollar Tree fired? How long? All right, he's back. He's back. Go ahead.
All right, so it said under Biden, it said 21% was the highest inflation rate on that.
Yeah, you're talking about the cumulative, right? That's what you're talking about?
What's that?
Dutch, let me ask you a question. Do you seriously vote?
Yeah.
Legitimately, you vote?
I voted for Obama in 2008.
Of course, they all say they voted for Obama. You legit guy. I don't think that you really. No, yes, it wasn't. He's. But the only thing I could possibly think. No, it wasn't. It wasn't 17. I think it was 19.4. So even the number's still incorrect. But he still doesn't understand. Dutch, I'm being honest with you. Like, if you're going to vote, you have a lot of learning to do. Like, in the most polite way, you have like, you don't understand like basic fundamentals. Like, you really shouldn't even be like, truthfully, I mean this. And this is an issue we see across our political spectrum is people that just, because you just, I truthfully find it embarrassing. Like, I really do.
Embarrassed. But
so can you tell me really quick, right? Besides taxes, what's another reason you voted for Trump?
Gas prices.
Okay, gas prices. Okay, specifically, go ahead.
Business owner. So when I drive around all day paying crazy great gas prices.
The president doesn't control gas prices, so that would be not a good reason. Can you give me another one?
Got a little sway in there. They can make.
President doesn't control gas prices.
They do when they
Can you tell me what the president doesn't set gas prices? Can you tell me really quick what specifically? Give me a reason that really Trump was going to change.
What'd you say? What did you mean? What? Trump was what?
I asked you to give me a reason, right, that Trump actually would be able to affect that you support Trump. Don't ask me questions twice. I'm trying to play solitaire. Go ahead. One thing that you support Trump on that he really could affect change.
You could affect gas prices.
Can you give me something? The president doesn't say gas prices. I've already told you this. Can you please give me something that you voted for Trump outside of these things?
No, it was just taxes and gas prices.
I thought you said the Second Amendment.
Well, you brought up about putting laws and people not being able to own pew-pews, right? So I was just...
There's no law about people not being able to...
You were talking to somebody else, and I said whatever I said online, and you chimed me in because you wanted to know about the pew-pews. Then you brought up the Second Amendment and the Constitution and all that crap. But, yeah, not everybody's allowed to own pew-pews. And yes.
Can you tell me what piece of legislation Democrats are trying to pass that takes away people's ability to own pew-pews?
Not what they're trying to pass. It's what's been passed.
There is none that says people can't own pew-pews. Don't you own pew-pews?
People that are felons are not allowed to own or possess firearms.
People can't own firearms? What are you talking about, dude? Don't you own firearms?
No.
So can you not own? Are you a felon? Are you a felon? Is that what we're saying here?
That's what we're saying, yeah. 25 years ago, I was a bad boy. And it wasn't even
What
bad.
state do you live in?
New York.
Okay, that's why you can't. What are you? You're a felon for what? What did you do?
I don't care to disclose that, but it wasn't as harsh.
Was it a violent offense?
No, it wasn't violent. And it was 25 years ago.
I need to know what you did, or I can't determine whether or not you should own a firearm. You probably shouldn't if you're a felon.
Well, it wasn't violent. It wasn't harming anyone. It wasn't anything like that.
Okay, what was it?
It was pretty much affecting myself. That's it.
I don't know what that means. Are you talking about like substance use disorder or something? I mean, regardless, if you have a felony, right? Or I don't know what you're talking about. Like, you would have to be more specific. If it's a felony, a felon shouldn't own firearms. So if that's what you're arguing, and I stand pretty firm by that, felons should not be in possession of firearms.
Okay, you ever smoked weed before?
I think felons should be able to vote. I don't think they should be owning firearms, though.
Before?
Have I what?
You ever smoked?
Can't say that word on here. Yeah, but I didn't inhale.
Okay, Bill Clinton.
I didn't inhale. Just for future reference, I didn't inhale. Go ahead.
Related to Bill Clinton.
I'm just saying, you never know for future reference. I didn't inhale. But anyway, the point is, man, like, I'm totally sympathetic to our justice system and having like felonies and stuff. And I believe you should be able to vote. And I don't think your rights for the most part should be taken away from you, especially for non-violent offenses. Owning a firearm is not going to be one of those things I'm going to...
25 years.
Dutch, you got to let me finish. Owning firearms is not going to be one of those things I'm going to be advocating for you to, because I don't really believe most people should be in possession of firearms anyway, the firearms that they want to. And I find it concerning that people like want firearms. Like, I mean, I guess for like maybe protecting yourself, but that's probably the only thing I wouldn't fight for you to have as a felon.
I got jealous growing up, motherfuckers going hunting, getting deer, providing for themselves, and I can't do none of that. I couldn't do none of that. I can't go to gun ranges, Yeah,
man, unfortunately, like, and I understand it's a nonviolent felony is what you're telling me, and I get it. I don't think any other rights should be taken from you. Certainly should be able to do everything you could before, but I'm not going to sit here and like advocate for you to be able to own firearms, because just generally speaking, I think less people owning firearms is probably better for our country. Just generally speaking, I'm never going to advocate for people to do that. Now, unless it was, something that was unconstitutional, maybe there'd be an argument to be made, but you're a convicted felon. So And I don't know the details of the case either. You're telling me something. I don't know what the details are. I don't know what you did to obtain a felony for that specific thing anyway.
25 years, bro. People shouldn't be
What was it?
People shouldn't be penalized for 25 years. Like, I should have got my rights back, my Second Amendment right.
Well, I mean, for a violent offense, they should absolutely not be able to have those rights ever again.
It wasn't violent.
No, I know you're telling me that it was violent. I get it, but I'm saying, just generally speaking, there are many cases where people should never receive, and I'm not gonna. It is what it is, but I would not argue for you to receive those rights back. That right specifically is the only right I probably wouldn't argue for you to have back. I think you should be able to vote. I think you should be able to do all these other things. I think felons should be able to vote. I don't think in almost all cases they shouldn't lose the right to vote. But owning a firearm is like, why do you want to own firearms so bad?
To hunt and protect myself.
To hunt and protect yourself. Well, can you bow? Can you still go with a bow?
I vote.
No, can you still go with a bow? Dude, you got to hold your mouth.
Oh, with a bow. All right,
okay, stay next to the microphone. Yeah, do you go with a bow?
I go with a bow.
Okay. So anyway, why else do you support Trump? What other reasons?
I mean, that was it. I didn't like Donald Trump before 2016. So, like, there was nothing else. It was just gas prices and taxes. Simple. I'm a small business owner.
Okay, dude. So nothing else matters to you. So you still support Trump today, even after you see everything happening in the country. Nothing bothers you. You just think about your gas prices when you see people being slammed on the ground. Our country's literally falling apart, and you're like, but my gas prices.
No, so when I'm voting, right, fit my needs, you know. And so those are the two things. You take what you take out of certain presidencies or whoever's trying to run for office. You hear what they got to say, what they're going to do for the people, and those two things were it for me. It was gas prices and taxes. It's simple as that.
So you don't care about other people at all?
No, I do. I care about people, but you know what? You can't. How are you supposed to fight a government?
We just did last night.
How? What, voting?
Yes. Voting, educating, advocating, protesting. We just did.
Who won New York?
Mamdani. You're talking about Mayor Mamdani.
Okay,
Mamdani.
Do you know, did you ever hear of the document that was found in 1991 called the Muslim Brotherhood Memorandum?
Okay, all right, tell me about it. Go ahead.
No, you look it up.
It ought to be good. Go ahead, tell me. What's an issue with a Muslim being in elected office?
It's not about just the Muslim, about who he is. It's not saying that he is one. I'm assuming he could be, but who knows? But back in 1991,
well, he's a Muslim.
There was but it all depends if he's radical or not. I don't know.
No, he's not radical. What is this? So again, he has no connection. So I don't know what the relevance is. What don't you like about Mamdani? What scares you? Just be honest.
Everything free. Where's all that money coming from?
Everything isn't free.
It's free this, free that.
Yeah. Do you understand? Like, we're talking about basic human needs. Right. We're talking about free public transportation. Do you think that's a bad thing? Do you think taxing billionaires to make sure that people's basic human needs are met is a bad thing? Socialism, you've been indoctrinated to believe that socialism is the thing to fear because billionaires pay for that propaganda so you remain indoctrinated. That's the whole point. Socialism is merely a guardrail so billionaires can't profit off your basic needs. Healthcare, housing, transportation, food.
Right, so let me tell you how I feel about billionaires. I think their wealth should be capped. They shouldn't make a certain amount.
What? What do you mean?
I don't think like you shouldn't be able to own freaking $500 billion.
Yeah. Great.
That's right.
Yeah, it's not right.
All that money should be sent back into our economy because we're the ones that made you that fucking money.
Right. So that's what we're talking about. That's literally what we're talking about.
So I'm independent. I'm not fucking Republican.
He's talking about taxing wealthy people, dude.
Yeah, tax the fuck out of them. But you know what? The thing is like, even if you, I remember they did a.
Wait. You just told me you're scared of Mamdani because you fear everything being free. How do we pay for it? And I say, well, taxing wealthy people, right? Taxing people who make over $1 million annually. And then you say, well, I believe that people shouldn't be able to hoard wealth, essentially, and that money should be put back into our economy, put back into our system to help our most vulnerable, right?
Well, my belief, I don't think that's what he's about. He's not here for that.
Okay, what's he here for then?
Just go read the Muslim Brotherhood memorandum.
He's not a part of what you're talking about.
You don't know that.
Yes, I do know that, dude. Okay, can you provide some credible evidence?
It's just we don't know until it happens.
Can you provide me some credible evidence?
Like the snake and the mouse, right?
What you're doing is you're spewing Islamophobia. That's what you're doing. You're spewing the same bullshit that people spewed post 9/11. He was born in Uganda.
Muslims are all over the place. Doesn't matter where they come from.
Yeah, but it's a peaceful religion is what I'm talking about. Uganda would have nothing to do with any terrorists or anything, if that's what you're insinuating. Speak into your microphone.
Islam is peaceful?
Yes.
Since when?
Okay, they are generally peaceful people. If you're referring to Sharia law, Mamdani doesn't advocate for using Sharia law as a governing system. So you can believe, just like Christians believe, a lot of crazy shit too. Have you ever read the Bible?
Not really. I'm not really religious.
No shock. You would be just as afraid. Okay? The Bible says it's okay to own slaves. So let's be super clear about something, right? Like, this is someone's religion, and he doesn't, just because he is Muslim doesn't mean he needs to advocate. Rhonda, thank you so much. Rhonda, Rhonda in the chat. I really appreciate that, Rhonda. Just because he's Muslim doesn't mean he needs to advocate for Sharia law as a governing system, right? What you should be more afraid of is Christians advocating for eliminating the establishment clause of the Constitution to intertwine religion and government, to create a Christo-fascist country. That's what you should be more afraid of. Christians, like Christian nationalist Republicans, are really what you should be afraid of, not Muslims who have openly stated they don't support Sharia law as a governing system. Because Christian nationalist Republicans like Lauren Boebert and others, right? Marjorie Taylor Greene has said this previously. Donald Trump has said this previously, that there is no separation of church and state, right? Saying the Constitution doesn't explicitly state there should be a separation of church and state, right? That's why you see all this stuff about the Bible back in schools and, religion and government, right?
Yeah, but all the religions do the same thing. You say Christianity's bad, but
why did you vote? Why did you not fear Trump being a Christian when you voted for him, but you fear Mamdani being Muslim when people voted for him?
Because I always watch these videos growing up how Muslims say they got to infiltrate America from the inside to destroy it.
That's not true, Dutch.
That's how you
not true whatsoever. Muslims don't say that. So again, the only thing I could put. Do you know what Sharia law is?
I heard a little bit about it, but not too much about it now.
Okay, well, regardless, he does not advocate for Sharia law as a governing system. Rebecca, thank you so much, Rebecca. I appreciate you, Rebecca. I'll have to read that after it came up too quick, but thank you, Rebecca. I will read it. So any other reason you fear Mamdani? Because I'm actually trying to get you to identify that you are, in fact, Islamophobic, and it's because your country probably led you to believe that they were dangerous as a result of what happened on 9/11. So can you tell me why specifically you think it's dangerous for a Muslim and it's not dangerous for a Christian?
It always depends if they're radical or not, but a lot of Muslims, they want to destroy America.
Trump is a Christian nationalist, so he's radical. So why did you vote for him? Like, why is it specifically people who believe in Islam?
Like the Israel religion. I don't like Islam. I don't like Catholics.
Israel, what?
I don't like
Again,
any
okay, so why did you vote for Trump then?
What does that have to do with his religion?
He's a Christian, right? And you said you don't like, you're scared of Mamdani because he's Muslim. Why would you vote for Trump when he's a Christian nationalist? Don't you understand? You're literally saying that Muslims want to implement their religion into government, correct? And I'm explaining to you, Christian nationalist Republicans are openly advocating for eliminating the separation of church and state in the Establishment Clause of the Constitution so they can intertwine religion and government. But yet you're not scared of that because they look like you. And you're scared of this because they don't. And that is the only reason.
First off, I don't know how they look like me. What does that mean? I'm Italian.
It means they're white.
Made up of?
It means they're white, and so are you.
Mediterranean. I'm Italian. I'm first.
Guy, being Italian is white. Okay, so
do history search on Italians to see what we're made up of.
You're white. Okay, can you stop? Like, Jesus.
Go ahead.
I love when these guys tell me I'm Italian. I'm not white guy. You're a white guy. Okay, so again, I'm gonna ask you, right?
My skin's white, but my bloodline is mixed from all freaking ancient bloodlines. Go look at it. Southern Italian. Go find out what my bloodline is.
But Italy's a country.
Right. Mixed up of different. It's diverse.
But you're still a white guy. We're talking about race.
Right. My skin's white. But
right. That's all I'm talking about.
Right, so my bloodline is more related to my.
But you're a white guy.
Right, so that's it. You're basing it on skin tone. It doesn't matter what you are.
Yeah,
right?
I said race.
Right.
Holy fucking hell. Again, this is the reason.
No.
Give me the difference. Why would you fear people who are Muslims
considered white in America?
I don't know if I can disappear into the middle of an ocean. I try my best every day, but I don't talk to people who are and please be gone when I lift my head up. 1, 2, 3. Oh, thank you. Maybe there is a God. Holy shit. I think I'm losing my mind a little bit. Kosher, you
hey.
Order.
No, I'm a friendly. I just wanted to say they're all scared of socialism, but I said how did FDR get us out of the Great Depression? What did he do to do that?
And you know what's funny? They don't even realize that. I brought that up with Mamdani. Like, these are a lot of FDR style policies.
Yeah.
That allowed Americans to prosper for years, the same time period that they brag about.
He created the strongest economy. The strongest economy.
Dude, I swear to God, it drives me freaking crazy when I hear that they advocate against these policies, when they say, make America great again. And when you tell them, when was America great? They cite these years that Americans were prospering as a result of FDR's policies.
They don't know our history. They don't know our history.
They don't, and they are beyond dumb, and it's painful to watch it. It really is.
And I know it is. Anyway, I just wanted to say I love your stuff, and you're doing great, and I know this is suffering, but it's really important what you're doing. And I always look forward to hearing your lives, and keep it up, man.
Thanks, man. Take care. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's a really good point, and it is so annoying, right? If you ask a Trump supporter, they will like bring up that time period because it's true, right? Like a lot of Americans were prospering at that time. Of course, not all Americans, but a lot of Americans were prospering at the time as a result of those policies. And then they will say, like, Mamdani's going to destroy New York City. That's why I said the proof is in the pudding. Just let it happen. You know, obviously he's the mayor, right? But the proof is going to be in the pudding. So, and this is going to allow more Democrats to be open and honest about their support for, and maybe even identify as social Dems when they might otherwise be afraid to do so. You know, it's just, I think you're going to see a lot more people identifying, and we're going to be able to break out of this moderate Dem norm that we've been living in for so long. People, this is not anything to be afraid of. This is something to embrace. This is bad for one group of people, and that's billionaires. This is rich, wealthy people. You know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Yes, I debate on YouTube now. I debate on YouTube now. I destroy MAGA on YouTube over there. Go over there and check it out. You missed a lot of debates. If you guys go over to my YouTube and you hit the live section, you will see the lives from last night. You can hear me debating. There's 3 lives last night. It was broken into 3 parts. So we're going to start doing that. I had to dodge lots of fetuses, though. Dude, what's up with the fetuses on YouTube, though? Like it's crazy. I had a kid last night that joined. He was 16. He was trying to debate me. Like, legitimately. He's like, I'm a Republican. He wanted to debate me. I'm like, dude, I appreciate you being into politics and everything, but we can't debate, man. Like, I can't debate a 16-year-old. It's just not right. Like, it's not. There's no way that you're going to be able to do that, and it's not right. At the same time, you don't want to discourage like young people from paying attention. I want them to keep tuning in, especially like young men. You know, but I think there were kids that like would be on Fortnite calling in like, hello, why, this is Mickey. Have you seen Minnie? I've been looking for her all day. Hello, this is Mickey. I'm looking for Minnie. I'm like, what the fuck? Listen here, Mickey. You don't know New York City like Curtis Sliwa, who's been here for 30 years. Zoran, don't glaze me, Zoran. So true. All right, I'm going to restart. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'm going to restart for a little bit. I'll be right back. If you're coming back, type 1. If you're new here, make sure you hit the follow button. If you're coming back, type 1 in the chat. If you're not, hit the follow button. Make sure you follow so you can come right back.
Needs a new one, and he was gonna get a new one a while ago, and then WAI jokes. Thank you.
Thought that song was for them. MAGA thought that song was for them. They think it means rage against the Democrats. They literally thought, and then they came out and they were like, no. And MAGA was so triggered. They were like, dude, you guys could have made billions of dollars if you realize what you did. Like, if you, come on, man. Like, yeah, they're really going to support Trump. It's like that guy, remember that song? Mama didn't raise no Democrat. Guys, remember the Republican that made that video saying Mama didn't raise no Democrat? I'm trying to find it. But Yeah, Fortunate Son.
This bush of yours is clearly.
This is this song is playing, and this Republican's like, some folks are born. Republicans think this is their song too. They've never listened to the lyrics. They think every song is